welcome to the LuCookieknits podcast. So, I am Catherine. You can find me on Instagram as Kekskrümelchens and on Ravelry as Kekskrümelchen. There you also can find my designs. Under Katrin Gerstendörfer Designs, I changed it recently from Katrin Steinhauer Designs because it was my maiden name, so I changed it to my married name now. Thank you and welcome. So, welcome if you are a new viewer. I hope you will enjoy the podcast, and also thank you if you're a returning viewer. It is so much fun, this whole podcasting thing, and I just love all the comments I get, and so welcome. It is the 6th of July today. For all my friends in America, I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July weekend, and you could enjoy nice weather, cold beverages, maybe some barbecuing. Friends of mine in Michigan, they always go to Indiana to the lake house of one of their parents, and they seem to have had a wonderful weekend. I wish I could be there, but I can't. So Monday was the 4th was a normal day here in Germany, nothing special. So since we last saw each other, the Connecting Continents knit along with Tiffany from the Mitten podcast started, and I think she did cast on Spice Market by Melanie Berg with some American yarn. I did cast on Pure Joy by Jorge Locatelli, which I will show later, and I also will talk a little bit later about the things that can be entered into this knit along. Also, the Herbstblatt along is still running, so go check that out if you're knitting something out of Herbstblatt Regina yarn, or if you're knitting one of her patterns. So I am wearing my first entry for that knit along. It's the cowl I designed out of her Hydrogena Garden colorway. It is called Amacha. I decided Amacha is a special kind of tea in Japan. I think the name is something. It's translated to sweet tea or something, which is actually brewed from a special kind of Hydrogena plant leaves. I'm not quite sure about that, but I really thought it was a cute name. So also the cowl went into testing. There are still 1 or 2 spots left. If you want to test this, just shoot me a PM on Instagram or on Ravelry or wherever, so we can figure out the testing. And I hope to publish this sometime in August. So it's just a nice and cozy cowl. The last days here in Germany, they were a little bit rainy, a little bit colder, so I quite enjoyed wearing the cowl, and I also like that it is closer to my face, so especially if in the winter there will be some wind chill or something, I can wear this and stay cozy warm. So before I start with my works in progress, which will be not that many this week because I enjoyed working on the Pure Joy shawl so much that I just knit away on it and forgot time. So I just want to quickly tell you what I'm drinking. I have my old polka dot mug, my green one, and I drink some Stick-Lemke Tee, Früchtetee, which is fruit and vanilla tea, that I got sent in a swap by the lovely Annie. I will talk a little bit later about the swap package I got this week. So just grab your tea or some knitting, and just let's talk a little bit about knitting. Okay, so Tour de Fleece started I think on Saturday. And as I said, during Tour de Fleece I don't want to spin or something, it's just something crazy going on. But I did spin a little on the braid that I showed you the last times. I feel at the moment I'm kind of a slow spinner. I just try to get some minutes in every day, like 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, you might not see that there is a lot of progress on this bobbin, but yeah, I finished the purple and started into the blue. I hope you can see this, but I think the lighting today is a little not as I wish it would be. Yeah, so you can see all the purplish things that are going on here, while here I started like into the blue. Yeah, I hope you can get it. And that's the fiber I've got left. I would say it's about maybe 60 grams left, so this should be around 40-ish grams. Yeah, so I try to spin this, to get this done. And my goal for Tour de Fleece, I'm not in any team or something, I would really like to spin like 2 braids, and this is the first one. I have to check how many days are left there, but I think I can manage this, so I hope to have this done next week, so that next week I can start on the second braid. That's all for spinning. Knitting. So I will start with, you have seen this already a couple of times. It's the secret design project I'm creating out of which is in my coffee bag that came with the Coffee for Cece book kit that I ordered. I think it was back in March. This is what I have left of the gray. The multicolored yarn did not change. This is 100% merino wool by Stricklily's Bunte Wolle, and it's coming along quite nicely. I have to so I'm now on the main body of the shawl, and I have to write up what I'm doing, so that I can send this into testing, because this has like a deadline. So this should be going into testing maybe in 1 or 2 weeks, and then it can be tested, and then it should be released in September, but will be exclusive for sometime first, and then it will be published to the public. As I said, it has a special event that it is created for. So which one's next? I would say this one. In the other bag, coffee bag that came with the pumpkin spice latte kit by CC Ellman last year. Oh, I forgot to mention, the shawl I'm knitting is on 3.5mm needles, which should be used fourth. But as you don't see the shawl, probably you are not interested in the needle size, but I wanted to mention anyway. So in here is a small cake of Miss Mothball's strawberry cheesecake. That's what it's called. It is kind of small, and the bigger bowl of Beerenwolle in the Graffiti Love Song colorway. I think I did show them in one of the first episodes as acquisitions, but for the Connecting Continents knit along, I let my husband choose the colors, because I was like, okay, these are the yarn options, I cannot make a decision here, and he chose those 2 colors. So I'm knitting the wedges in the main part out of the strawberry cheesecake, while this is the eyelet accents and the border that will be on the shawl. So this is what I've done so far. Whoops, it's tangled. It starts down here, and then you create those wedges, and I'm now on the 4th of 5 wedges in this strawberry cheesecake. I hope that I'm having enough yarn. I don't want to play yarn chicken, but at the moment I'm kind of I'm not quite sure if this will be enough. I'm actually gauge wise a little tighter than what is given in the pattern, and I also choose not to use 4mm needles, but those Knit Pro Zings in 3.75 millimeters. I am not quite sure. It should be US 5 maybe, but I love how it is knitting up. It's so squishy. It's not 100% merino, both of them. It's just both of them are 80-20 blends, but it's so soft and so squishy. I really like it. And yeah, I love how the teal and the pink is like popping up in the eyelet rose. But I think as soon as I'm going to knit the border in the graffiti love song, this will be spectacular, and I think I will love this shawl. And this is one project that my mom will not steal from me, so this is for me, and I will wear that, not my mom. Yeah, so this is the Pure Joy shawl by Jordi Locatelli, and I'm knitting this for the Connecting Continents knit along, where the idea is that you knit something that is local to you. So those are 2 German yarn indie dye colorways, and you combine it with something that is from another part of the world. So Jordi is from Argentina, so I figured that would be really appropriate for the knit along. And maybe if there's the knit along is going to the end of September, and I think I will definitely do like a second project for that knit along, because it's so much fun. And also I'm co-hosting this knit along with Tiffany from Knittin' from the Mitten podcast. She's in Midland, Michigan. Yeah, and I love Michigan, and I enjoy her podcast, and I just especially enjoyed in the last episode her husband went to one of the lakes up there, and yeah, she put a little footage at the end of the episode, and I was kind of homesick for Michigan, because I lived there for 7 months in 2014 during my master thesis, and yeah, I just love not the country, I love the state up there, and I love the people there, and I was getting really homesick, and I might or might not have looked at the prices of flights, and so maybe next year we will be going to Michigan. Yay, it will be fun. So next project is in this bag. I did sew a long time ago, and it was my first attempt at inserting a zipper, which did not work that well, but yeah, first project. I showed you this last week. I was modifying the so my intention was to do a case for my glasses, because I lost mine, but then I was thinking, oh, this would be such a nice phone sock. So I'm trying Fair Isle. You can see there's a lot of puckering here, but that's because there's like this one color like the whole row, and I hope this will block out. I use a chart which is free on Ravelry, which is from the Norwegian Totoro mittens, and Totoro is this Japanese anime character, like a good spirit, like a good ghost that protects or helps children, and I really think he's so cute. And there are 3 Totoros. This is the big one. I think there might be a little one on top. I'm not quite sure yet, because I don't know what the chart looks like at the moment. I still didn't look up the designer of this pattern, but it's such a cute pattern. Just go on Ravelry and search for the Norwegian Totoro mittens. Yeah, so that's coming along quite nicely. He has eyes, he has a nose, there is rain falling, there will be an umbrella on top, and it really fits my phone. So yeah, and down here it says Totoro, and on the back I'm just knitting as I want to with the 2 colors. There are some rows where I seem to have severe tension issues, like here where you only see blue, which should actually be blue and turquoise. I'm not quite sure what happened there, so I will block this as soon as I finish it, and then I will check what happened there. I did color work before. Yeah, it was a hat I did out of Malabrigo worsted, which my husband then threw into the washer, and you know what happens when you throw Malabrigo worsted into the washer. Yeah, I can use it as kind of a pot for some flowers now. Was not very delighted about that. He was really sorry, but yeah, still. Yeah. So, and I'm using Knit Picks palette, which I had lying around for another project that didn't happen. And again, those I'm using Knit Pro Zings. This is 3mm, and I think this should be used 2.5, because I learned some time ago that that 3mm is kind of an in-between size that is not really supposed to exist in the US, like the 7mm ones. Yeah, so if you can get them, they will be called 2.5mm, 2.5 US, I think. That actually was the reason why Chagoo never, in the beginning, produced 3mm. And also, I think they don't include 3mm into the interchangeable needle set, I think. Yeah, so I hope to finish this today. Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. And I really want to learn how to do color work better, but I'm not quite, I have not found the right technique yet where I can if I'm more the person that holds one on the left and one strand on the right, or if I'm one of those persons who has like both on the left hand. There are these little gadgety things that you can put on your finger, and it has like 2 loops, and you can thread one color through the one and one color through the other. I use this for double face knitting, I think it's called. I have a project going on in double face that is like very old, and I need to finish this. I think I started it in 2013. And I really want this to happen, but I'm kind of anxious that my tension changed a lot during this long time, and I would have to rip it back. And if I would rip it back, I would never start again. So yeah, I have to pull this out someday and show. It's a huge, it's not a shawl, it's a scarf. Yeah. Next up is in this bag, and you know this bag. In this bag is my aquarium socks. They are out of the aquarium colorway. Perhaps Blood of Regina. She's having an aquarium along, so this will be also my entry for the aquarium along, as well as they will be in my, so I will knit them for my Habs Blood along, where obviously I'm not eligible for prices, but I want to knit along. So yeah, for this knit along, whips are allowed. If you finished something out of her yarn between the 15th of June and the 15th of September, you can enter it. You can enter multiple things into the knit along. Yeah, you can enter it if it was casted on before the 15th of June. Yeah, so I only have like a teeny tiny toe on this, and you were thinking maybe like if you saw last episode, so did she rip back again, or what happened there? No, this is the second sock. The first sock is here. So the pattern is the cobblestone socks by Mina Phillip from the Knitting Expert podcast. It's from her Beyond Vanilla collection, and it forms this beautiful texture here. So I decided, because it's summer, I wanted shorty socks. So I made this, not that high. So it's also just 10 rows of 2x2 ribbing here. The socks in the pattern are cuffed down. I decided, because I like toe up, I will knit them toe up. That's just no big deal at all. She gives the pattern with a German short row here. I like heel flap and gusset more, so I did a toe up, heel flap and gusset, so gusset, heel flap. I use this method a lot in my patterns, and there it comes with like a ribbing here. But I decided, since everybody is talking about the Eye of Partridge heel, I will do that on this here. Yeah, and I think it looks kind of neat, this Eye of Partridge heel. Now that I see it, I wish I would have like go on with the pattern up to here, because it's just such a short leg. And anyways, when you knit the toe up, you don't seem to have that many gusset stitches as if you are knitting cuff down, because of the way you increase for the gusset, and you would have to start like maybe here with the gusset to get to the same number of stitches in the gusset. So toe up socks seem to have like a shorter heel flap, but I'm okay with that. I did also kind of reverse engineer so if I'm knitting top down socks, my heel flap is about 32 rows for 64 stitches, so that you can have to pick up 16 stitches for the gusset, which you have to decrease away. So if you would be doing this toe up, you would have to increase 16 stitches on each side before starting the heel turn, so that you get like a same length heel flap. Then you would have just to start like somewhere here to increase to 16 stitches. These are now 10 stitches for 64 stitches on the needle, so you have like a 10 stitch gusset, and here you then end up with a 20 row heel flap. That is 12 rows less than what you would have if you would knit it like a traditional cuff down way. That's just a preference, so both fit me kind of well. I just don't like I like cuff down, but I have always problems that I can't cast on loosely enough. So what I was thinking yesterday was I could knit a cuff down sock by provisionally casting on somewhere here, then knitting the leg, the heel, the foot and the toe, then going back and unraveling the cast on and knit the cuff. So I would have like both the longer heel or the wider heel, I think, that is in this toe up sock. I would have like the neat look of the toes, which with the increasing in toe up can be a little bit untidier, I would say, and but I would have like the benefit of both, so I have to give it a try if that really is something that works, or if it's something just I imagine to be working and then doesn't work at all. And I was thinking I could like combine this with like a design element, that you would knit something like in rows, like a band that goes around, where you could like pick up the stitches from. I think it would be kind of neat, like a detail that is maybe another color, or that could be something cable-y. I have to see if I get that to work. But now I think I will have to try this, because I said it on a podcast. Okay, so these are the cobblestone socks by Mina Phillip from the Knitting Expert podcast, out of Herbstblatt Regina yarn. aquarium colorway. It is really this variegated, but it shows up the pattern really nicely. Oh, I always set the marker to like mark how many repeats I did of the pattern to the foot. To the start of the gusset, sorry. Yarn, and second sock is on the way. These are again Knit Pro Zings 2.5mm needles. As several podcasters already mentioned, be aware that the Knit Pro Zing needles tend to be a bit smaller than is written on them. So maybe this is like a 2.4mm or 2.3 or something. I'm not quite sure, but it seems to be working quite nicely with my knitting. So then I did knit on, oh yeah, so these are stitch markers I got in a swap package from Annie, and in here are also all my minis and the yarn that I not only got from her swap but also from other swaps, all my leftovers. These are living in this bag now. Before I had my cozy memories blanket with the minis in this bag. That doesn't fit anymore, so I had to get my Christmas bag out, which is by Herbstblatt Regina, and Christmas in July. Totally can use it. So what I have in here is now my cozy memories blanket. I added some squares. Just have to look where. I'm not quite sure if I showed this yet. This is the Hydrogena Garden colorway by Herbstblatt Regina, which is this cow. And this was left over. I think I have like a tiny bit left over now, but not that much. This is just some drops baby merino in a teal colorway, and this is some thing I got in a swap that I showed already. It's by Fischer Wolle. It's called Corinna. It's the sock yarn. That's like a company where you can buy sock yarn, yarn in Germany that also has their like house brands. They are usually quite cheap, and I never knit with this before, but it feels kind of nice for the price point it's set at. So this is this side of the blanket, and then I said I wanted to start to knit in another direction. So these squares are knit in this direction, and then I started knitting in this direction. So I'm not quite sure if I showed you this. This is the Chopped Zauberball in the Choco Creme colorway, which I used for the socks for my mom's husband. That are also in testing right now. So these should be also, the sock pattern is called Transforming Vanilla. That will be released, I hope, also in maybe August. Yeah, I think that's the plan right now. This is also from a swap package I got. I showed it like maybe two episodes ago. It's from Daniela on Ravelry, and I think she has Manu's Handmade podcast. I will link that. It's a podcast she does, and I saw it like 1 or 2 times before, and I quite liked it. So yeah, and she contacted me on Ravelry and said, hey, do you want to do a mini swap? And I said, yeah, of course. So this is some Wolkenschaf merino mix that I added. It's from my Kalta pattern. It's this 3-colored shawl I wore, I think, in the 2nd episode. And yeah, it seems to be a bit looser than the rest, but hey, I'm using 4mm needles to knit this, and this is all sock yarn. So yeah, I on purposely wanted it to be light and drapey. So this just seems to be a little bit more see-through than the others. This is something that is Regia wool think Regia color in the Vishnu colorway. Correct me, Kerstin, if I'm wrong. I got it from Kerstin Nemesis Seed last year in a swap, and I have so many blue minis. I just found it would be nicer if I would spread them out so that not my whole blanket would be kind of blue. So yeah, I think this was a nice position for this. And this was something from the new swap package I got from Annie, Against All Knots on Ravelry, and also, no, not on Ravelry. On Ravelry she's all Ausnein, and on Instagram she's Against All Knots, and she has a podcast that is called Against All Knots, so go check it out because it's kind of a neat podcast and I love it, and I love all the sewing she does. So yeah, this is Lang Yarn's Magic Degradé in one of I think they only have color numbers, so I can't remember the number. Yeah, that's the Cozy Memories blanket, or as Renee of the Lazy Knitter podcast calls it, the Mrs. Weasley blanket, because of all the colors. So she calls hers the Miss Weasley blanket, because of all the colors, and also the squares are not always the same size, but yeah, it's full of memories, so maybe it's Miss Weasley's Cozy Memory blanket or something. Not quite sure. Then, because one blanket and the second blanket I showed last week, which is a design project, are clearly not enough, I went and got the pinwheel scrap blanket pattern, also by Mina Phillip of the Knitting Expat podcast. She's like such a fast knitter, and she's like designing one pattern after the other, and I really am kind of sitting there and thinking, why does she get all the time for this? Yeah. Anyways, all the things she designs are kind of very beautiful, and I really enjoy the podcast a lot. So yeah, I started this, and if you have seen it on her podcast or something, it's kind of a unique technique, and I'm finding myself using less than for a square. So if I have around 5ish grams left after I put in a square into my Cozy Memories blanket, I can easily knit a triangle on this. So this is what I did with the mini skein Annie sent me. So this is again the Jarwool Lang Yarns Jarwool Magic Degradé. This is again the Corinna Fischerwolle. This is something I found in my stash room was not enough for putting a square in my blanket. It is Drops Delight in one of the colorways, which have like a long color repeat, so I happened just to like get the purple in this triangle and no real color change, although here you can see it's a little bit changing to a gray. Yeah, and then I put in leftover from socks I knit for my mom and for me, ankle socks. One skein was it, that is Regia Floromania in the Neon Beach colorway. So yeah, because one blanket or two blankets are clearly not enough. So this is all I got for works in progress, and yeah, I have a finished object this week. Phew! So I will see you with a finished object segment in some seconds. So I finished something this week, and yeah, I wanted to clear off my needles before actually starting the Pure Joy on the 1st of July. So yeah, that I could, I just wanted to whip something down maybe. And what I finished is the shawl design I created out of the Woolmizer Twin in the Bluebell colorway. And I love this shawl. I wore it last week quite a few times. I just enjoy it. And yeah, so it's a triangular shawl. It's kind of my wingspan. I'm a small person, but yeah, that's just, I didn't measure it yet. I would say it's maybe around 1 meter 60 centimeters or something. So it's quite a nice size that I can wear it like bandana style. I know it's with the cowl, it looks kind of bulky, but yeah, that's how I like to wear my shawls. It's not too long. I don't enjoy those very deep triangular shawls. They are not for me. So yeah, what I did here is like a combination out of garter stitch and eyelets. And you can see at the beginning there's a little garter, and then there are more eyelets. And then at the border, I think I have to show it upside down because you can see it. So there are garter ridges at the edge. And before that you have those those kind of crisscrossing eyelets. I really like the look of that. And they are, oh, Cookie, hello, do you want to join us for some seconds? Hi. So Cookie joined us, and clearly he is not interested in being held. He just wants to look into the camera and block it. Did you show your face, Cookie? So. No, he's not interested. I think he wants to lie down on the shawl. Yeah, lie down. No Cookie butt in the camera. Just lie down. So Cookie lies on the table before me, so I'm interested in how that will work with showing you my finished object. So yeah. And again, as I said, there are these crisscrossing eyelets that are separated by garter ridges. And I told you last week I tried to incorporate like the mathematical concept of the Fibonacci sequence into the shawl, which is like some kind of play with numbers, where you start with 1 and then you add another 1, so you get 2, and then you have 1 and 2, which will form 3, and then you have 2 and 3, which will form 5, and then you have 5 and 3, which will form 8. Yeah, so there is 1 eyelet row, another eyelet row, 2 eyelet rows, 3, 5, and in between there are 8 garter ridges, 5 garter ridges, 3 garter ridges, 2, 1, and so on. And I wanted to also include this concept on the border of the shawl. So what you can see here is there are 8 repeats of the crisscrossing, 5, 3, 2, and 1. And 1 repeat is always this crisscross section with the spine in the middle, and then there is in the eyelet thingy. So you have 1, 1, 2, oops, yeah, 2, and then 3, 5, and 8. And in the middle there is another 1, just because I wanted to. So it's not exactly mathematical, but I like the look, and it is, yeah, kind of the same on both sides, so you don't have to worry about how the right way of wearing this will be. So yeah, I really like how it turned out, and I used up almost all of the 150 grams that Woolmizer skeins come in. But I wanted to, do something out of the one skein of twin, which is kind of, I think it's kind of limited in yardage, because Woolmizer is on the edge of sport weight. So I found that there are not many shawl patterns for Woolmizer Twin, So I wanted to do something, to create something, because I don't want it to be socks, because I would not like it to be used just for my feet. So, and it smells good because I soaked it in some wool miser wool brush that I had left. I didn't know that I had it left, but I found it in some in some edge of my stash. So yeah, I really like how it smells. I think I will deal now with the cookie situation. Oops. And then I will be back with some enabling, and I said I would be on a yarn diet. Clearly I'm not anymore. So yeah, see you in a few seconds. Okay, now I'm back with some enabling, which is actually a lot of enabling this week. So yeah, my mom ordered something on Boutinette and was asking me if I wanted to have something, and I said, yeah, of course I do. What a question. If you ask something like that, I won't say no. So I ordered some green zippers and some blue zippers, which have different lengths, because I really would like to do some project bags, not only for me but also for prizes for the knit-alongs, which I think I promised anyway, so I have to. And yeah, for project bags you tend to need zippers. And then because she was like, is that all you want to have? And I was like, if you're asking like that, I might as well order something of this. So they always have this little quilt packages. I think I showed one I got before from Boutinette, and they are like color coordinated fabrics, and this was kind of their summer special thing, which is one fabric that has a lot of red and pink strawberries. Then there is a red and white polka dot. Then there is the same polka dot fabric in a light green, apple green, which is kind of one of my favorite green shades of green that exists. Then there is a vintagey rose fabric in this package. Then there is some contrasting red that is just red. Then there is some green fabric that has this dandelion seeds on them. Dandelions, in German they have different names. They are called Löwenzahn, which would be something like lion's tooth. But the other name that I used to from my childhood is Pusteblume, which refers to the fact that if the bloom is over and they have like this whitish seedy things around them, we used to like pluck them and then blow all the seeds around. So that's what inspires the name Pusteblume, where you it just says you pick them and you blow the seeds around. Yeah, I think that's kind of cute and I really like them, although they are not, gardeners don't like them in their gardens, but I like them. So, and this is the last fabric in this kit. It's just one of those flowery with green stuff, and I like it. So I think this would be very nice project bags, some combinations of the fabrics I got. And this is from Boutinette, which is like a online, or also I think they also have a store somewhere in the south of Germany where you can get all things crafty, like sock wool. I think they have their own brand of other kinds of wool. You can get the normal Regia and Opal and stuff there. You get sewing supplies, you get felting stuff, you get paper or scrapbooking stuff, so you get everything there. Yeah. So then yesterday we went to Bonn to actually buy those green boxes behind me, because I didn't like the look of my stash and I wanted to have it like a little neater. Yeah, and on the way back we came by a Drops superstore that we have here, like two villages from where I live. And I went in there just to buy some Drops Delight, because I found in my stash the Drops Delight I used before. Yeah, I knit gloves out of it at the time, which wasn't the best choice of yarn for that, but I still like the colors of the Drops Delight, although you have to be very careful when knitting it so it won't unravel, because it's a single ply yarn. Yeah, and I got 4 skeins of Drops Delight. I got 2 in this colorway, which is the color 11. It has this purple, green, yellow, brownish repeat. And actually, now that I see it, those look kind of not very similar, but they are from the same dye lot. So I'm interested to see how this knits up. I'm not quite sure what I want to knit out of this yet, but I will find something. And they come in 50 gram hanks, so I bought 2 to have like 100 grams. Yeah, so they are okay-ish soft. It's a 75-25 version, yeah, super wash wool polyamide. So I'm not quite sure what they want to be, but I will figure something out. Maybe even socks, but I'm not quite sure. So yeah, and then I got 1 skein in this blue to grey long repeat, and I want to knit some smaller things, so I figured it's always good to have something lying around. Yeah, and then I got this really autumny color, which is the color, this was color 3 I think, the blue one, and this is color 10, which has some brownish things, then green and teal, purple and orangey. So yeah, this is the Drops Delight I bought yesterday. Clearly not on the yarn diet anymore, but Drops is a very good price point, I think. Yeah, so then their birthday's coming up in August, and I saw that, bye Cookie, that She Bought Ghana had an update last week, and I really like her stuff, and I always tried to get the Somewhere Over the Rainbow colorway. So it is the bot sock base in the Somewhere Over the Rainbow colorway. It's on their 75-25 base, and it has this gray and then the rainbow. And actually I opened up the skein yesterday to look at something, and I saw it as like a double rainbow, so it goes one way. Oh, Cookie is climbing things. Okay, and then the same rainbow going back again, so yeah, that will be quite fun to see how this knits up. And I think Cookie wants to eat the plant. Yeah, he can try. So, and then I got a second skein, which is the pink elephant colorway. So this has the same gray, but it has a bright pink, orange and yellow, and down here it has a bit of a grello. Yeah, this is so beautiful, and this will be socks for me. Why did I mention the birthday? So my husband as well as his sister have both August birthdays. So he has at the beginning of August, and she's got her birthday in late late to middle, not really late, but more like middle-ish August. So, and she loves rainbows, and I saw this and I was thinking, yeah, maybe birthday socks for my sister-in-law. But then I saw on Instagram that Nicole C. Mendes had an update, and I never knit with her yarn before, except for one mini I got from Kerstin that I put into my blanket, and I really wanted to. Yeah, there was something in her shop for a long time that actually sat there, and I wanted it, but I'm not a one skein ordering person. I like to order at least two, and so she posted that she will have an update and that there will be something I really wanted, and I was like, okay, so this was in the shop and it's coming to me. It is a self-striping yarn that is yellow and pink and peachy, and yeah, so that was definitely something I had to order. And as you may recognize, I'm not on this purple streak anymore. It's mostly rainbows and yellows and oranges right now. So yeah, I like all the colors, but not at the same time. So yeah. So then what she did put in the update, what I really wanted, was this one. This is also one of her self-striping yarns, and it's called Rainbow. And yeah, I was thinking, birthday socks for my sister-in-law. Yeah, so 2 skeins of yarn justified by saying birthday socks, and 2 justified by saying they can't travel alone. So yeah. Oh, I forget to say, they don't seem to have like old colorway names, but this is number 193. So yeah, only the rainbow seems to have a name. So this came, and I also ordered from her shop a little Progress Keeper stitch marker that is in here, and it's a little chocolate donut. So yeah, I'm looking forward to use it. So what happened then yesterday in the evening was I got all my sock yarn I have, and I went to because my sister-in-law was here visiting, and I said, okay, so you two, this is all my sock yarn, choose something. And they did. And as I thought, my sister-in-law went for a rainbow, but not the 2 rainbows I just bought. Bummer. But okay, anyway, I can understand why she chose something different. So what my sister-in-law chose for her birthday socks is this yarn. It is the Opal with Silver effect. It has Selena, and I think you can see it quite nicely glittering. Yeah, I got this the end of last year when they had this special edition coming out, and it is also a rainbow. It's pink and purple and blue and green, and yeah, it has more colors, I think, but she went straight for this, and I was like, yeah, okay, so I can live with that. I can knit with something sparkly, rainbowy at the same time, and this was kind of, yeah, a skein that was hoarded for some special occasion, so I think this occasion is special enough. And my husband, he chose something. I had some bluish, greenish stuff like for men's socks that I would think he would have chosen, but no. He actually went for a skein of She-Bot Garner that I showed a few episodes ago in the Flip colorway, which is this dark gray with neon green, yellow and blue. So yeah, that will be fun socks, and I think both, yeah, they will go on the needles next. I'm not quite sure if they will go simultaneously or one after the other. I have to see. I really want to try like 2 at a time socks, but I'm not quite sure if I can do that. So yeah, I will see this. We'll see what happens. Yeah, and then as I said, I sent a swap package to Annie, and she sent a swap package to me. So what I sent her, I think I will insert a photo in here because clearly I don't have it anymore. Yeah, of what I sent her some mini skeins, and I sent her some fabric I had left from a project, because she is doing all this sewing and not scrap fabric but leftover fabric projects, and I thought she might really like it. It is gray with some deer on it. It looks kind of like Bambi, but it isn't. And yeah, I think it's just a really, really cute fabric. I sent her also some buttons, because buttons. As a knitter or as a sewer, you need buttons a lot of the time, and those were like cream ones with brown flowers on them. And I sent her some tea and a card with sheep on it. And I got something also from her. I got mini skeins. I got some. I got the tea I'm drinking today. So yeah, I got a card with one of this big. She lives on the coast in Germany, in Kiel. Which is I think on the Baltic Sea, not on the North Sea, because the North Sea is the other part of Schleswig-Holstein. So, and she sent the stitch markers I showed before, and some chocolate that is gone already, of course. And she did include one of her patterns, because she has patterns on Ravelry, so go check that out. It's a very nice sock pattern, and I think either my husband's sock or my sister-in-law's sock will be the pattern. The other sock, I'm thinking of either knitting a vanilla sock, or I bought the book by Cece Ullman, the Coffee with Cece book, in March in the pre-order, and I haven't knit a sock out of this yet, so I think I might do that. So yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at the little show note thing I made. No, I covered all for the enabling section. So yeah, now I will go on for the knit along section. Okay, knit-alongs. I am entering a lot of knit-alongs with the finished objects I'm doing. I was thinking, I entered something in the second sock of summer knit-along by the Grocery Girls. I am knitting something in the aquarium, entering something in the aquarium along by Regina, and something in a flower along. There are just so many knit-alongs going on. I will enter something in the Blanket Blitz, Summer Blanket Blitz knit-along by the Knitting Expat and Sockcetera. So there's just so many summer knit-alongs going on, and also Tour de Fleece is kind of a knit-along spin-along thing. But I'm also hosting 2 knit-alongs. So the first started on the 15th of June, which is the Herbstblatt along. So as I told before, you can enter anything you knit out of Herbstblatt Regina yarn, or that you knit out of her patterns. It can be a work in progress before the 15th of June. Just enter it, and there will be prizes. So one prize will be for sure a skein of yarn out of Regina's shop that you can choose. You can choose whichever skein you like that is in the shop. Then there will be some of my patterns. I think I said in the thread one of my Siebengebirge collection, like the whole collection of 9 patterns, and some individual prizes. There also will be a project bag I am sewing. So please join the group, chat along. So there's not much chatter at the moment, which is kind of sad, but I hope there will be in the future. And the other knit along is the Connecting Continents knit along that I am co-hosting with Tiffany of the Knitting from the Mitten podcast. So what we thought about was we wanted to choose something that connects us kind of, and so we decided that we want to host a knit along where projects are eligible that connect something. So what you can do is you knit a pattern or with a yarn that is local to you, and then choose something that is not local to you. So you choose a pattern that is from another country, or you choose yarn that is from another country, and you combine it with something that is local to you so that you get kind of a connection. So that's kind of fun. Tiffany is knitting the Spice Market Shawl by Melanie Berg. Melanie Berg actually lives or comes from Bonn, which is not far from where I live. So as I said, we went to Bonn yesterday for shopping. I am knitting the Pure Joy that you saw earlier by Jorge Locatelli, which is a pattern from an Argentinian designer, which is kind of the other side of the world from where I am in Germany, and I'm using German indie dyed yarn to do that. So I have to look at Cookie, who is doing stupid things up there. So that started on the 1st of July and goes to the 30th of September. What prizes? So there are a lot of prizes. So Tiffany is going to dye up yarn. I am going to dye up yarn. So you can win 2 skeins of yarn in my group, which is one dyed by me and one dyed by Tiffany. And you can win 2 skeins of yarn in her group, which is also one skein dyed by me and one skein dyed by her. I will sewing a project bag for sure, and there will be pattern prizes. And I was thinking the pattern prizes will be for the cheddar thread, and the other things might be for the finished objects thread. If you knit one thing, you can enter it in both groups, so you have the chance to win in both groups. So come in, join our 2 groups, enter your projects. Even if you don't want to participate in the knit-alongs, just join the groups and introduce yourself, and just start the conversation. It will be really fun to see who joins, and what you're knitting, and out of which yarn, and what pattern you are using. So join the fun. And you have a long time to go, so it's only the beginning of July, so you can really use your time and enter the stuff until the end of September. So that's all for knit-alongs, and the last section of the podcast will be a bit of a mixed section with live stuff, and see you then. So, the last section of the podcast today. There are several things. During the last week, I focused a lot on getting drafts of patterns finished and knitting on design projects, and yeah. So when I do things like that, I always enjoy watching podcasts. So I discovered some new ones, rediscovered some, and I just wanted to share what I was enjoying the last week. So a new to me podcast that I saw was the Corner of Knit and Tea by Fluffy Kira on Instagram, and I really enjoyed her podcast. It's a shorter one, and yeah, I just enjoy the projects she's doing. She did this wonderful cable head with cables all over. I want to knit something like that, but at the moment I'm not patient enough to do heavily cable projects. I have a sweater for my husband, started in 2014. It has like so many cables, and I'm just past the split for the armhole. So yeah, so I would never be that patient. And she spins a lot and also sells her handspun yarn. I think on Etsy, and yeah. I just loved to see the podcast. So the next one, I think I mentioned it before. I found the podcast a few weeks ago, and since then I'm subscribed. Hi, Cookie. Yeah, and I enjoy watching the podcast. It's the Lazy Knitter podcast by Renee. Renee is from the Netherlands. I think she's from Haarlem, which is, I'm not quite sure if I get my geography right there, but I think it's near Amsterdam. So, and I really enjoy her podcast. I enjoy what she's doing. She's also a designer. She designs a lot of things. She spins a lot. Yeah, I just enjoy the things that she's doing, and I really also enjoy her aesthetics, and yeah, so I really enjoyed that podcast. So then, as I mentioned, of course, the Knitting from the Mitten podcast with Tiffany, which kind of makes me homesick for Michigan, as I mentioned before. So yeah. Just lovely person, and I would like to meet up with her someday, and I think if our plans like work out that we will be going to Michigan next year, I definitely will message her and say let's meet up. So yeah, then I talked about the swap package I got and I sent out last week to Annie from Kiel. She has a podcast that she recently renamed, and it's now called the Against All Knots podcast. I think it's a hilarious punny name, and I enjoy this. So I watched her latest episode, and yeah, I really love the podcast. I love that it's having a lot of sewing in it, and yeah. So I want to do more sewing, but I'm always thinking if I cut into fabric and destroy, it could be destroyed, but yeah, maybe I can like get some not only inspiration but also like the courage to start sewing, because I have all this fabric here, and yeah, I never do any sewing. So yeah, so I really enjoyed her podcast, and I totally feel her problem with sweaters. If you knit them, they end up too big or too small, and although you have the right gauge and you seem to have done everything the right way and you did a swatch, yeah, I can totally relate to that. So yeah, I really enjoyed her podcast. Okay, I think I have to remove Cookie from the microphone. So yeah, then as always I watched the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. Cece and Damaris, they are just two sweet persons. And yeah, they mentioned my podcast I think 2 weeks ago. I did forget to say thank you last week, but yeah, thank you so much for mentioning me. They are also giving away my Siebengebirge collection on their summer knit along. So if you want to win it, go check their summer knit along out. You just have to relate your project somehow to summer, and if you can't, you can say you knitted it in the summer and it will count. So it's really easy going knit along. And they have beautiful prices, and they said so many nice things. So thank you again. Yeah, and then I got a YouTube alert, something that, yeah, I was really excited about. Mandabug Crafts did a new episode. She did not podcast, I think, in 9 months, because she got her son, and they are now she has now 2 kids, and she's moving, and yeah, so it was really so fun to catch up with her and what she's doing after such a long time. And she's the sweetest person. She is so cheerful, and yeah, I really love to see that she is back, at least for the 1 episode. I'm not quite sure how often she will podcast in the future, but I really loved to see her again. And yeah, so this is a podcast I always enjoyed, and since I started watching podcasts, and I was kind of sad that there weren't any more new episodes, but that made me really happy. And I kind of tried to set aside a calm half an hour on a day. I had some nice tea, and yeah, so enjoyed the experience. So that were all the podcasts, aside from the others I mentioned previews that I enjoyed this week. Yeah, then to the live section, as I said, there was not going on that much. Yeah, there were some family related or private life related things that had to be done last week. We went as I said yesterday, we went shopping to Bonn. We ended up not only going to buy the boxes, but we went to the city center and walked around and looked at things, bought some things. My husband and his sister-in-law, they came up with the idea of doing pen and paper games. So we actually ended up going to the comic book shop in Bonn, which is, I think, the only one that is around here. I don't think there's any other comic book shop aside from maybe in Cologne or something. And they bought a starter kit for Dungeons and Dragons, and we spent all yesterday evening figuring out how to play this, because it isn't as easy as you would think it is. There are so many rules, and once we got the hang of it, it was really fun. And they are thinking they are going to write their own stories or something. So my sister-in-law, she was the dungeon master that you need for playing the game, and yeah, that was kind of fun after a few things. Oh, last Saturday, I think. Yeah, last Saturday there was the European Football Cup quarterfinals, where Germany had to play Italy, and Italy is always winning against Germany in soccer or football. Yeah, so this was kind of a nerve-wracking game, and I think I saw it in the newspaper. They said like every German got 10 years older on that evening, like in a second, because they couldn't score any like goals in the they scored 1 goal in the official play time, and then a German player did something stupid and got a penalty for that, so Italy was like also having a goal, and then they couldn't get another goal until the game was over. Then they had to go into overtime for half an hour, and nothing did happen there, and then they had to go into the penalty shooting, and I think it took around, so every team has like 5 penalties in if it's like a normal penalty shooting, but I think they ended up needing 18 or something. I'm not quite sure. So it was like always they were like in front of us, and then we caught up, and then we were in front, and then one guy messed up, and yeah, so it was so crazy. My husband was like here jumping around and like yelling, and yeah, so fun experiences when a European Cup is the same as the World Cup. Then I think this Thursday, so tomorrow, there will be the next game where Germany has to play France. Yeah, I hope it will be less nerve-wracking. And then if we beat them, there will be, I think, the final on Saturday or Sunday. I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, nerve-wracking things happening here. Okay, so if you're wondering what I'm doing here, Cookie is lying in front of the surface and wants to be petted. So who am I to not pet him? Okay, so then I will now go on, edit this and upload it to YouTube. Again, a huge thank you to everyone who watches, to everyone who watched for the first time, to everyone who comes back week after week and wants to see Cookie. So yeah, I hope to see you again next week, and I hope I can show you some new things next week. And I think with Cookie and me, we're saying